Hey everybody, it's Brian Haskins, and I wanted to make a quick video for you and teach you exactly how to fill out a purchase and sale contract for whenever you're going out and putting properties under contract. I know this is one of the things that holds a lot of people back and scares a lot of people, so I wanted to make this quick video and show you exactly how to go through a complete contract and fill it out line by line and word for word so you feel comfortable and kind of hopefully get some of the people that are using this as an excuse to not go out there and actually do deals and kind of get them over that hurdle or that hump to get them out there and start closing deals and making a ton of money in real estate investing. So let's go ahead and jump right on in. As you can see, this is going to be a really simple contract that we're going to be using. It's a 3-page contract, and you're also going to notice right below this video you are going to have the ability to be able to actually download and use these contracts for your own personal use in your real estate investing business. I just want to point one thing out though. Typically contracts are pretty general, but certain states have certain guidelines, and I don't want to get anyone in trouble, so I want to make sure that you take this contract to a local real estate attorney, have them look it over just to make sure that everything is covered and you are protected before you use this actual contract. So let's go ahead and jump right on in. As you can see, basically, the first thing you're going to put is going to be the date. You're going to see I just put in a fake date right here. And the first paragraph talks about the parties in the property, and what that means basically, you are going to put either your name or your company name here. This is going to be the person that is purchasing the home or putting the home under contract. Now, as you notice, right behind that it says buyer and or assigns agrees to purchase from the undersigned seller the following property located in the county of, put whatever county you're in right there. I just put St. Louis County. And in the state of Missouri, you'd put your state right there. All right. Now, it says here that you put in the legal description, but typically most people will just put in the actual address. The legal description will get filled in by the title company, so you don't have to worry about that. So you want to put in the actual property address that you're putting under contract. All right. So for this one, I just put 123 Main Street, St. Louis, Missouri, 63026. You want to make sure that you put in the full address right there. All right. Now let's go ahead and scroll down a little bit to the second paragraph. Now, as you notice, most contracts are broken down into paragraphs. It makes it easy for you to explain and easy for you to fill out whenever you're talking with homeowners. Second paragraph is going to talk about inclusions and exclusions. These are going to be the things that you may want included in the purchase of a sale, or these might be the things that you want excluded from the purchase of the sale. All right. So this first line here talks about the following items that are going to be included in a sale. Let's say that there is a car in the garage, or let's say that there's appliances in the property that you want included in the actual sale. You would list them all here, and they become a part of the contract then. Now let's also move down here where it says the following items are excluded from the sale. Let's say that there are a bunch of old cars or junk sitting on the property that you want removed before the sale of the property. If you put it in here and the homeowner doesn't remove that stuff, you have the option to either not purchase the property or go back and renegotiate. Okay, so this second paragraph here is going to be where you include or exclude things that you want included in the contract, that are related to the property. All right, let's go ahead and scroll down here. The third part pretty much jumps right into price. Okay. So you are going to put the purchase price of the property right here in the first line. It says total purchase price of the property to be paid as follows. Okay. Second line talks about earnest money. Now, every contract has to include earnest money to make it a legal binding contract. Now, typically, this is one of the things that hangs most people up, because this is the part where you, in most cases, will put money out of your own pocket down on this particular property. Now, if you're dealing with an REO property or a listed property, a lot of times they're going to ask you to put down either 3% of the purchase price or $1,000, whatever is greater. Now, whenever you're dealing with homeowners, you are able to put in as much or as little as you would like. So typically, I put down $10 worth of earnest money for every contract. And, $10 is a small amount. If you don't make it a big deal whenever you're putting it down, the homeowner is usually not going to worry too much about it. Now, if they do ask you, well, why are you only putting down $10? Well, sometimes what I'll say is that I put a lot of houses under contract to purchase. If I was to put down $100 or even $1,000 for every property that I had under contract to purchase, that would be a lot of money out of my pocket. So I put down $10 earnest money. That's all we need to make this a valid contract, and then you basically just move right on. So put in whatever amount you want right here, and then as you're going to read on, it says earnest money received for delivery to be deposited by, and you put whoever is going to hold the earnest money. This could be you, this could be the title company or a closing attorney. Typically, your closing attorney or your title company, if they have a good working relationship with you, they're not going to request that you even give them the earnest money. They'll just figure all that out whenever it comes down to contract time, especially if it's only $10. It's not usually that big of a deal, okay? Third line here talks about additional earnest money to be delivered. Now, in most cases, you're not going to be adding additional earnest money, but if you needed to, for some reason, you could put in more earnest money, all right? Let's go ahead and move on down to paragraph number 4. As you can see here, this talks about financing. All right, let me go ahead and scroll down a little bit. Basically, this part talks about whether you're going to get conventional financing for the property, and then you're going to list the terms of your actual financing if you're going to get it. Now, in most cases, you're not going to actually get financing, but it's a good idea to say that you're going to, because it gives you another contingency. You could say, well, I didn't get my loan on this particular property, so I can't purchase the property. But it's not as strong of a contract if you tell the homeowner that you're going to be paying all cash, and then you decide, well, whenever it comes down to write the contract out, you're going to talk about getting an actual loan on the property. So if you're not going to get a loan, you can just skip over that, and you're going to see we have 3 other different options right here. Most commonly, the option you're going to have and use is going to be not contingent upon financing. This is going to say this contract is not contingent upon financing. However, the buyer reserves the right to finance any portion of the purchase price. Now, this is what most people think of a cash deal. That's typically what you're going to use. Now, let's say that you are going to assume the loan if that is possible. You can check this box here, or if the seller was going to take back a note, you could put that in right here. All right, so you can make it real simple if you're not getting financing, and just say that this contract is not contingent upon financing. All right, let's go ahead and move on down here. Closing and possession is the 5th paragraph. Now, whenever you're going to be filling this out, you're going to want to ask the homeowner what their desired closing date is. Now, typically, you want to give yourself as much time as possible. If you have a cash buyer in mind, you might be able to close in 2 to 3 weeks. I always put at least 30 days, if not 45 to 60 days. I would say get as much time as you want if you're going to be assigning this deal and finding a new buyer, because it's going to give you more time. All right, so you put the closing date in right here, and then you are going to put the office of your attorney or closing company, your title company, right here. All right, and this basically just says you're going to be closing on or before this date at this particular title company. All right, so it's really simple. It's an easy paragraph. Let's go ahead and move on down to paragraph number 6. This talks about title and survey. All right, now typically you're not going to be getting survey done on investment property, but in most cases the buyer is going to want to get title insurance. So this part talks about who is going to pay for the title insurance. Is the seller going to pay for it, or is the buyer going to be paying for it? Typically, you want to try to get the best deals possible. If you can get the seller to pay for it, that would be great, because that's less money out of your pocket. But typically the buyer is going to pay for the title insurance. All right? So you're going to want to put in here if the buyer or seller is going to pay for it. If the seller is going to pay for it, there's a line right here that where you can actually limit how much the seller has to pay. All right? So that's really simple. Not too much to explain there. Paragraph number 7 is also really simple. Talks about access and final walkthrough. Basically, this is where you can kind of write in here that you need to get access to the property, whether you want to put a lockbox on the door. Also, this talks about getting access to walk back through the property before you purchase it, to make sure that they've either cleaned out all their stuff or basically didn't damage the property whenever they were moving things out. And if they did for some reason, then they would either have to compensate you or you could walk away from the deal. All right? Paragraph number 8. This is probably one of the most important paragraphs in a contract. This is what's called the special agreement section. And in this special agreement section, what this does is it basically allows you to write in parts of the contract that, different things that you want in the contract that there's no place for anywhere else. This is where you're going to put in maybe your inspection period. If let's say that you want a 15 business day inspection period or a 10-day business inspection period, you would go ahead and place it right here. Or if you wanted to say that this contract is contingent upon your partner's approval, whatever you want to put in this contract, if there's no other room for it, this is where you put it. All right, so it's really important to understand paragraph number 8. All right, now paragraph number 9 is really simple. If the buyer or seller is a licensed real estate agent, typically in most states that needs to be disclosed, so you just check a box if either the buyer or seller are. And then the last paragraph is paragraph number 10, which talks about a seller's disclosure statement. Now, typically, whenever you're dealing with investment properties, there is no seller's disclosure statement. But in some cases, if you would like the seller to give you a list of information about the particular property, you can actually fill out a seller's disclosure statement. Now, basically, there's going to be 4 little check boxes here, which give you some different options. If there's going to be no seller's disclosure statement, you're going to check it right here. Seller's disclosure statement will be provided if it already isn't. Sellers agrees to provide buyer with a seller's disclosure statement within 1 day. Or the seller confirms that before signing this offer to purchase that you have read a copy of the seller's disclosure statement. So typically there's not going to be a seller's disclosure statement, so you would just check this box right here. All right? And the last part is you're going to need to get your signature here, the buyer. Then you're going to need to get the seller's signature right here. All right? So it's a very simple 3-page contract. It is extremely easy to use and extremely easy to understand and explain to homeowners. So I hope by me going over this contract, it makes things a lot easier for you to understand. And I really hope that you got a lot out of this training. And don't forget to download your filled out contract so you have a reference, and then also a PDF version that you can actually use in your own real estate investing business. So again, this is Brian Haskins with BrianHaskins.com and WholesaleTheRiches.com. I hope you enjoyed this training video, and I'll talk to you soon.